provide us with so many things. And in our modern world, the top of that list is food and also aesthetics. But over the hundreds of years, they have provided us with many things, including natural dyes. We were working with a plant earlier this season, which is called pink Chinese indigo, which is a nice perennial that you can grow in your garden. Now, while this plant blooms in late spring, early summer, it is not the true indigo that we get our indigo dye from. All of this conversation behind the scenes led us to wonder what the plant was that we get true indigo dye from, natural indigo dye from. And that led us to getting this plant behind me here. This is Indigo tinctoria, and you can see it has a very similar look to the pink Chinese indigo, but it's slightly different. This is an annual, so it is tropical. It will die out for us this season. It does have a similar compound, pinnately compound leaf as the pink Chinese indigo. The flowers are slightly different, but you can see that it has a number of racemes that are still left to bloom on this. Now, we did get a little anxious because as an annual, we were expecting this plant to bloom in late July, early August, but here we are in October and it's just now starting to break bud. So we are getting to see it, but we were a little anxious that it's going to get hit by the freeze, and it may still very well. But what's nice about it are these kind of dark pink flowers. The pink Chinese indigo has a little bit more of a larger flower to it that is a lighter pink, whereas this has more of a structured, upright, almost sort of maroon colored flower to it. So we're anxious to see this continue to bloom. Now, we did buy these as small 4-inch pots, and you can see in this container we have 3 different plants in here. So all of this volume has grown in one season. So if you're interested in this plant, I can't say that it's the showiest plant to add to your garden, especially if it's such a late bloomer. So we're a little curious. We might try it here in the garden, but you might consider putting it in the back of your garden, as it does add some nice foliage, and we'll transition to those flowers later in the season. I do like the form on it though. It has a nice arching habit to its structure, and the leaves are actually where we get the natural indigo dye from. They don't actually come from the flowers, which you might think, but it's a compound that is in the leaves, and through a process of fermentation is how you actually extract that indigo dye. Now, this plant is suspected to be native to tropical Asia and North Africa, but the exact location is not necessarily known because it's been in cultivation for over 4,000 years. In fact, they've even found natural indigo dye amongst the Egyptian mummies. And so all of that use over the years really moved this plant around. You can actually find that it has sort of naturalized in southeastern United States, where in the 1700s it was actually a popular cash crop. Now, even though this plant has fallen out of the limelight since due to synthetic dyes, which have become more popular, it's still one to consider thinking about and not forgetting adding to your garden.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.